Hey barbecue fans, welcome to a beautiful day in Atlanta. Okay, so recently me and some friends of mine had a really great discussion on meat and which cut of meat was the best. And I've had my opinions, I've got my opinions, but I figured we'd come to our local butcher shop and get the opinion of an actual professional. So today we're here in Atlanta, we're at Frazy's Meat and Market, and we're gonna go in and talk to Mark and get his opinion on which steaks are the best cuts, how to cook them, and everything surrounding a good cut of meat. So let's go ahead and head in and talk to Mark. All right guys, welcome inside Frazy Meat and Market. So let's take a look at what we got here. Got a fantastic display of all kinds of food and beverages, but what we're really here for is down here. We're looking at some meat today. All right, now as you can see, we've got some beautiful meat laid out. And over here, we've got the man, the myth, the legend, Mark Frazy. How are we doing today, Mark?
Hey, doing wonderful. Thank you so much.
Excellent.
Glad you guys got to stop by.
Thank you, thank you. It's an amazing spread you got here. So tell me a little bit about yourself. How'd you get into the meat business?
I was in the restaurant industry for, probably close to 20 years, and did everything from bus tables to working line to everything you could, general manager to a restaurant. So I worked every way up. After the restaurant industry, I decided I wanted to get into meat sales, so I started with Inland Seafood, did the seafood route for about 4 years, and then moved over to Buckhead Meat and went on the beef side of the game. So the love of all butchery. My grandfather actually owned a butcher shop when I was growing up, so it's kind of runs in the family. All my uncles were butchers.
So we can say you know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I've been around it. I've been around it for a long time.
Outstanding. So like I said before, I've got a lot of friends, a lot of members that want to know what's the best cut of meat. What is it? And I've told them, I've said, this is what I think is the best cut of meat. And then we fell on the idea of coming and talking to the professionals to get a professional opinion of what it is and exactly how to cook that piece of meat.
Well, the old saying, "Beauty's in the eye of the beholder," is the same way with what's the best cut of meat, because it all is personal preference and what you would like. Okay. There's definitely certain things that work better, I think, in my opinion, on the grill, like different things. Top 5, different steaks that we carry that are pretty popular. If you look right down here at the
Can we pull some of these out?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Yeah.
All right, here we go. What's our first cut of meat?
So the first cut we're going to look at is the filet mignon or the tenderloin. This is considered probably one of the most tenderest pieces of meat. It doesn't have a lot of fat content, so you'll see that there's a little bit of marbling in there. Okay. But what this is good for, this is for somebody that doesn't like a fatty piece of meat. Best way I cook these, I think personally, is in a cast iron. I think they just go really well. Butter, garlic, some rosemary, just very simple, easy. You can cook these to a rare, to medium rare if you want. It's definitely a meat that you don't have to put a lot of temperature in it. It stays pretty.
Now, why do people wrap these with bacon?
I mean, bacon makes everything better.
Makes sense to me. Now, I've noticed when I cook them with bacon, if I wrap them with bacon, if I don't pre-cook the bacon a little bit, the bacon comes out much.
Comes out a little, yeah.
Soft.
And you can. It all depends. So you can also finish these off in the oven. So cook them up to a rare. Okay. And then finish them off to 135 in the oven. That also kind of cooks that bacon a little bit more evenly when you have all that the heat coming from all around.
Makes sense to me. Okay.
The next one we would look at, it's one of my favorites. And for this one, we'll pull out the Georgia-grown Wagyu.
Oh, you know that.
So this is Chattel Farms, Georgia-grown. This is right outside of Statesboro, Georgia. This cattle is never leaves the state of Georgia. It's raised outside of Statesboro, processed in Augusta, shipped right here to Atlanta. So it's
that is amazing.
It never leaves the state, which is pretty cool. So this is a boneless ribeye. I think this is the steak of all steaks. It's probably one of my favorites. It's usually what I cook. I like it. First, it has the best piece of steak or cut on any, I think, part of any steak.
Now this is a slice of the prime rib, correct?
Yes, so prime rib, it's a rib roast. Yes, okay. It's a rib roast. So prime would just be the USDA grade, and that's how you get the prime. So this is, like I said before, this is Wagyu. So this is the breed of cow is Wagyu. So this has what my favorite piece is called the spinalis. And this is right back here in this back piece. So you have a fat cap right here, and then you have your spinalis right on the outside of it. You ask any veteran steak eater, and they're probably going to tell you that's the best part of the cow right there.
Absolutely. Now, is that something you could go in and say, hey, I want to order you know, 2 pounds of spinalis?
You can, but it's pretty expensive.
I can imagine. You
Yeah.
gotta take that whole steak apart. Right?
Yeah,
Or the whole rib
exactly,
roast?
exactly. Because then you have to sell the heart of the ribeye too.
Yeah.
So
And everybody's
you
gonna be like,
can't-
"Where's the top of my steak?"
Exactly. Where's the spinalis at?
Yeah,
Exactly,
where's that?
exactly. This
Beautiful.
you want to cook to at least a medium.
Okay.
I think around 140, 145. Always remember when you're cooking steaks, let them rest right after you cook them. Take them off the heat. Let them sit on a cutting board or whatever, and let them sit for at least 5 minutes, just to let that fat cook all the way through. So that's what you're doing with this, especially with ribeyes, because you have all this fat. Yeah. Fat equals flavor.
Absolutely.
So you want to render this fat out when you're cooking it, and that's going to just melt throughout the steak, kind of like meat butter.
Amazing. You know, I'm leaving with one of these today. I did not know that Georgia had Wagyu steaks. I've been ordering mine from Snake River Farms. So we're going to take one of these things home, and we're going to cook it up later on in later episodes.
Yeah, let us know how it turns out. Chattel Farms is we're big sponsors of them. We love them. They do a great job.
That's amazing. That's a beautiful cut of meat.
Oh, awesome. So the next one we can talk about.
Got some more beautiful meat being cut up over here. Did you see this? Look at this.
That's the New York strip from Chattel Farms.
I was going to say, that looks like it is.
That is
very well marbled.
That is a Wagyu as well. That's our New York strip from the Wagyu.
That's amazing.
So this is what we call this is the like the cowboy kind of steak. I would how you would say it. This is dino bone. So this is a bone-in ribeye. So basically, you have these are called exports, and then those are lip-ons for the boneless.
Okay.
So this has the bone-in that runs right through it. Now a lot of people think that the bone is going to give it a lot of flavor, which I can't argue. I think it does.
Yep.
It does add more flavor to the steak. Anytime you have bone, usually adds a little bit more flavor to anything.
Especially if you render out that marrow, right?
Exactly. And this
True
again. So again, you're going to have the spinalis on these, the same cut, just with the bone on it.
And you can see, if we zoom in here, you can see that it's not as marbled as the other one. You can tell the visual difference between the Wagyu and this. I've taken this.
Exactly. This is CAB. So
CAB, okay.
The rest of the steaks we use is certified Angus beef. Okay. Big supporters of CAB. They're absolutely a wonderful thing for the ranchers. Ranchers get paid more if they get to process their cattle as CAB, certified Angus beef.
Without getting too deep into the certifications, is it how they feed them or how they raise them?
So it's so USDA basically cuts on the rib as soon as a half cow comes in. Mm-hmm. They'll cut it at the rib and they grade the whole cow based on that rib cut. Okay. So there's USDA selection. So you have select, choice, prime, and those are kind of your basis on how a lot of these are graded out. Now certified Angus beef is a little bit different because CAB is not part of the USDA classification. So what I put it at, I always tell people it's probably right around upper 2/3 choice and prime. Okay. If you had something right in the middle of that, that's where CAB falls into.
Gotcha.
There's 427 registered CAB farmers in the state of Georgia. So again, you're helping small America. You're helping family farms, family ranchers. So that's a big reason why I love this product.
Okay.
But bone-in ribeyes, again, you want to cook these up to about 140. Let them rest after you cook them, especially with these CABs. Salt, pepper is about all you need. Olive oil, salt, pepper, and let the meat speak for itself.
Absolutely.
And I'd say one of the most other popular cuts, the New York strip.
Okay.
It's just one of those great marbling throughout. You have a nice layer of fat on the outside. Again, cook that. You can cook it to a medium rare to a medium. It's great for grilling, great for throwing on the grill, great for smoke, it's pretty universal on how you can cook these. Cast irons, ovens, charcoal, smoker, you name it. It's pretty hard to mess that up.
Now, with this steak, how would you cook that to, like a rare, medium rare?
I would cook it to a medium rare to medium. Again, you want to have this fat that's marbled throughout. You want that rendered in the steak, and the only way to do that is to cook it up to temperature. So that's where that fat starts melting down.
Makes sense.
A lot of people like their rare steaks. I would only go with the tenderloin on that.
Yeah.
The rest I would cook up to a medium rare to a medium, closer to a medium. And then last but not least, this is one of the American classic cuts. This is going to be your Porterhouse. So this is coming off a short loin. Yeah. So one of the main reasons we need this big saw over here to cut through bone.
So you got two different cuts of meat on this, right?
Yeah, so you have your New York strip and you have your filet on this side. So as you cut down the short loin, you go from having porterhouses to T-bones, and the whole difference on that is the size of the filet on the cut. So as the filet gets smaller, then you get into a T-bone from a porterhouse.
Okay.
Also from this cut, you can also get bone-in fillets. You can get Kansas City strips, which is basically a New York strip with a bone on it.
That's amazing.
So those are two cuts that if you wanted to separate that cut, you could get those two cuts from there.
Okay.
This is another American classic. Throw it on the grill, salt, pepper, olive oil. That thing's ready to rock and roll. Yeah, exactly. Medium rare. It's a medium. It's perfect temperature for that. And you'll have a very tasty steak, probably for two. Back when I was younger, I could eat one of those things. Now
now it's a challenge.
Yeah,
I'm the
now
same
it's
way.
a
I'm
challenge.
like, man, I know I can eat this. You get halfway through it, it's like.
But again, this is CAB. The quality's wonderful. All of the fat that comes through it. So it's all around. It's one of my top favorites because you get two really good cuts of meat all in one steak.
That's fantastic.
It's the old combo.
Yep. That's amazing. So we've got some great information here on steaks, guys. And like I said, if you guys want to get the best cut of meat, the best experience, you're only going to get that at your local butcher shop. If you guys in Atlanta, you're going to want to come out to Frazy's Meat. Come out and meet everybody here. You got a great group of people. Everybody's willing to help you, teach you about meat. Not only do they have these amazing cuts of beef, but they've also got a ton of pork, which we might get into in a later video. Talk about some Compart Duroc and what sets that apart from other meats. That's what I used to use in competition when I was kicking the crap out of those Southern boys down in Mississippi in their pork game. Nobody knew what I was doing, but hey, I was cooking Compart Duroc. It's great meat. So there we have it. Mark, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us today.
I appreciate it. And always ask questions when you're at your butcher shop. Don't be intimidated by the meat. We're all here to help. I love talking about meat when you come in. So come on in, ask questions. Never be intimidated. Would love to help you out.
Outstanding. So there we go, guys. Until next time, keep on smoking.